it was every time they killed a Christian, it would make it stronger. They were deathly afraid of Christians. Just read their writings. Read their writings. It's a matter of history. Now, Rome is the Catholic Church. About 300 years, they merged. They said, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. But instead of just joining them, they merged their ancient mystery religion with the general story of the religion they couldn't control, and then they forced everybody to join. That, of course, is not Christian teaching to begin with. True Christianity has never been above ground until very recently. And it's going to go underground once more. If you don't believe me, go look at the anti-Christian sentiment in the new truth movement. Most of you have the nerve to call yourselves atheists. You should rightly call yourselves anti-theists, since all you really know is that you don't want God. We have been told by Satanists what to believe about Jesus. Does anybody see anything wrong with that? And the only thing that can stop them is the authority that I believe was given to us 2,000 years ago. Now, if that's true, then the New World Order, if they are the Satanists, has every reason in the world to discredit Jesus. Look, just think about trauma-based mind control. Some of you know about Operation Paperclip. Some of you know about the splitting of personalities, the creating of assassins and other jobs and people. Do you know why they tie that to satanic ritual abuse? Well, there's two reasons. One is because it also causes trauma to watch human sacrifice and other things. The sexual things that go on at those rituals cause splitting in themselves, but they can also use those rituals to attach specific types of demons to specific personalities. That does not make the entire personality demonized, but it does make one specific personality demonized. For instance, an assassin or even a sexual alter can be demonized, and they can be pushed down. Look, this is a major part of the power structure of the New World Order, is multiple personality. It's plausible deniability to the nth degree. If you have a Manchurian candidate that has no idea that they are a multitude of people, each one having a trigger and a specific job that can be utilized by those that created them and placed in power, then their entire structure is based on a system. A system that is vulnerable only to one authority. You had better believe and not be so naive to think that the New World Order does not have a specific reason to discredit one religion. Look, I know that they've told us so long, and it's very politically incorrect to say, look, every truth can be true. No, it can't be. Every truth cannot be true. By definition, there can only be one truth. It doesn't have to be mine, it doesn't have to be yours, but it does have to be one. There is a right and wrong when it comes to truth about the nature of reality. And I suggest to you that this is not peripheral. This is not a minor thing. This is the thing. You have to decide what to do with that before you can make your decisions about the minor elements of this. Let me explain what I mean. They've told us that there were many dying and rising gods, that Horus is the same as Krishna, is the same as Attis, the same as Mithras, and they're all the same as Jesus. Well, There's no evidence of that till about 150 AD when a lot of these stories were changed. 150 AD, do you know how that's 120 something years after Jesus Christ lived and died? And I know that the truth movement has told us that Jesus never existed, which is ridiculous. I mean that in a very scientific way. They've told you flat out that there's no evidence for Jesus. They've never told you about the Roman historians, the Greek historians, the satirists, the Jewish historians. They've never told you about the literary works, all of which were, in a lot of cases, extremely anti-Jesus, anti-Christian. And it begs the question, if they hated this guy so much, and they were only in a short time period window where they could have easily known for at least more certain than we could 1900 years later, they could have easily said, why do they even believe in this myth? The Christians made up a personality that never existed. No, they didn't say that. Time after time after time, historians that you're not allowed to know about said he wasn't the Son of God. His miracles were parlor tricks. They had every excuse in the book, but they never said he didn't exist. They tried every excuse in the book, contradicting themselves sometimes in the same sentence, trying to find a reason to explain away what happened. If these are historical accounts, then this guy would have made quite an impact. And that's what we find. That's the reason it spread like wildfire, because that's the reason people would go to be nailed to a stake and set on fire by their own free will, when all they had to do was say, no, he didn't exist. But they didn't. Why? It's because it's true. It's because he did exist. And that almost everybody that went to the stake had a chance to spare their life. So what I'm saying is, if they're lying to you, you don't have to believe in Jesus. But if you want to be honest with yourself, you do have to reject him on a basis of an informed opinion. You can't just reject him anymore on just Michael Tsarian or Jordan Maxwell or Chari S. or David Icke saying he didn't exist, don't go look for it. He didn't exist. Zeitgeist told me he didn't exist. I don't have to worry about it. He didn't exist. I don't have to worry about it. He was the same as Horus. Everybody knows that. We all know that, don't we? Don't you know that? Yes. You know that? Yes. Look, that's it. All of us truthers know that he didn't exist. No. I'm not saying that everyone that has told you that is in on it by any means. This has been a very, very well placed propaganda piece. After all, these Satanists have been in power for a long time. So, yeah, you can't use that. You can say, okay, well, he did exist. Okay, I can see that. It's not. I see that the most trained atheists in the debates don't argue that. I see that they have other arguments when they debate intelligent Christians. So maybe there is something to it. Okay. There was a guy named Jesus and he did exist. Okay. And okay, sure, it does seem like this mystery religion tried very, very hard to incorporate their sun worship into Christianity at about 125, 150 AD, which really started taking off about 400 AD, which became the Gnostic Catholic Church. Okay, I see the difference there, and I see that the Catholic Church killed more Christians than all the Roman emperors combined. I see that that's very well documented. The Catholic Church, if nothing else, kept extremely good records of their killings of Christians and why they did it. I also